I'm watching Adom TV so ene October bosom ne de toso mienu na chese nkakrakra ewura afi 2021 imu bosumi a etoso du no an ye de eti akanasa akabisom ne mienu na 2021 ye de ni na akogu. How time flies, you know. Ye sha say asen kakra January February October mu na ye dro megidi sa menu mienu nyina be ya adwene ne de aseda eni kabia e de amatwedi amponyankopon a wabo menu mienu nyina ho ban afi ye sha ase bebre ne no wo e sha ase a sabre ye pe wo mo atiasefo asase so a ye hunu bon ti sa menu mienu ye ti ase ema wotemenka uhumi o TV so a na chese nyagopon one ye dini ye pa ye da na se na wo twedwumade anopen so ye sinkonya ye de ebro se na wonim no memenda bia no wo twenya bose pe don hwene mienu na ye de si ho na ye de sa dwumade ye de bro dwumade yi so na ensem a adi akotene na wotwemu ni nyina no ye yibi na fe ye de don hwene mienu si ho na ye twetwe ho enkomo midin edi Chief Jerry Forson wetimi afremi CJ mamendo aseso afidie no eda ha oti enkan so asempa 94.7 FM edi dwumade edi free ye studios 355 Farnofa Street elkokomlimle enkrai ye da se anapai sam nyonu ne go apono so beya bosome kakra ni me kire brother 29th June ana asante mantemu adwura basabasayo esi ho abra Muhammad kaka ehwe ne nkwa eno achi emaburu no atugu montene so ema basabasayo ekoso nipa binum preprai ebi so ehwe wo mo nkwa omampani eche sasem ya eno se Ministry of Interior se one power abedjakuo na womo enhwehwe sa ensem yi emu enti ye pa abedjakuo no ana Justice George Kingsley Kumsin oye dwemtenani ora Dr. Vladimir Entwidan so no a member of that committee and afi Miss Juliet A. Amwa no so ekasa committee no ho se nadu 10 days womo fancy ho na womo hwehwem ne ekoso awadwira ama ekofa sabasabasayo no ede eba ye nadu no neswa enti womo agibi ka ho a ye kasai womo wie adwuma no anyina committee no nipa beye aduonu mienu 22 witnesses ene kopie committee no anim anaya yenua Erastus Asaredonko owo Insura FM na waka ho esan so ono de no gina basabasa ni fifini pa ode ho amane ni nyina ode boyen ni ono so hunu ye no wakodi adanse ewo committee no anim 54-page report and Honorable Ambrose Derry Interior Minister nensa asomua enei sa report no na yeba begibre na fe yatwetwe ho enkomo sharing so ye share findings recommendations and the various testimonies and evidence ebe PSA committee no enim and pay ye begibre na fe yatwetwe sa enkomo no afi eno danchen a MMDC sa mampani abo wo mu din mi kire mensnik akrachefo a ofese wono wo mu eye adwuma mfie miensa eda ya nimu no edin no betodwa ama ye ka say assemblies ahodo no wo ma hyase a wo mo eto wo mo so aba confirm bi but bebre so wo ho no ma akokwa bibie wo ho kwan a assemblies no fa so ato sa aba no anapay eno so ye beje bre na fei ya twetwimu enkomo so stay with us senior ye no no ye beto safre no so abejoin in ewo ye zoom ne so na wo so do adwen kire o de aba sanso na WhatsApp messages ni nyina so ye beje bre na fei akenkan e de amount ma yen share report no ebeto dwa no kaka busua etrese da bi report no wo mu hu ni yi enti wo mu de nsam dodo no a na ede atodwa yen kɔ na fe yen kɔhwe yen tie bi ye ba ye boy homode the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress Ora Johnson Esiedun Ketia enso so akyere na dwen e wo saa edra committee report yi ehun ye boy homode na fe ye ne no atwetwe enkomo yen kɔ na fe yen kɔhwe abusuafo no nsam a wo mu de tudwa efa report no aba betodwa no ehun.
Yes, Sakawa work. We don't say shoddy work. We say Sakawa work. So we generally, I call it as a political engineered report.
What we want as a family, we want justice to be done. And this justice we are asking for is to bring those perpetrators into book, judge them, punish them so that it will serve a lesson to others.
The three-member committee in its report concluded that the social media activism of Kaka was not connected to his death. According to the report, Kaka's death was more related to a family feud. But family spokesperson Abdul Nafi Mohammed says the committee betrayed the trust of the family.
They betrayed the trust of the family because they made us to understand that they are not going to concentrate on the criminality aspect of the case. And they end up doing that. That is Sakawa. That's the term I use for. They have betrayed the trust of the family. Because after telling us that they are not going to do criminal investigation concerning the family, and they end up doing that, even trying to castigate all the blames on the family, instead of them to emphasize their reports on the unprofessionalism of the military and the police. The
family head of late Abdel Nasir Yusuf, Abdullah Abubakar, says the family is not appealing for money as compensation, but rather wants to see justice served.
Justice we need. Who killed our brother? They have to bring the person. Then he has to explain to Ghanaians why they killed him. Why do they use live bullets? Knowing very that they were demonstrating for their right. It's their constitutional right to demonstrate when something is going wrong. This
the family, we have put ourselves together. We have started discussing with our lawyers. We are doing everything humanly possible. And at the right time, we will bring our communique. He who needs to be sued, if it is...
Well, iti Kaka Ebusia and report never told you actually no. One more day, one more drink to judge say report no. Who say Nema Bibri Hon Master Committee no more katakataso. GD no more our committee no ejuma. One more a share boss on no as a GD no a swearing based on report as is a committee no. The Abeto Jamami Kwaman so namine the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Ura Johnson and Sidu and Ketia Meneno and Tretchen and Como. General Otaminka, Adom TV, Asempa FM Suni, Yamuachimo Kwaba.
Yeah.
About your pombo quadie.
Oh, about the Nada, Mamma Hoyapa.
General says, I me describe it as incoming national chairman and I in Ruho.
I know they free here.
Okay. General, that's a pass what Jibre, you say, when I squash who took quiet and swatch bread, any to and come. Near see our ejura, any committee, a Juma, one more a year, edit 54-page report, a comma a buying. When it dear tripa, General, who is saying, and shall say for you.
Yo, Ninia Medasi, Nakia. Adom TV ni mahwefo ni matifo nyina mepeya nka mesumete TV no so bi na ja ye hwema nimbi na baby adwuma de menamu ni ma ene Muhammad transit na maka no sa no em se asemu amakofa aba no ya asem kete no kre mani edi edwira nsensem no chi efri tamo esi ye eko si ebra ye pau committee no ana afi committee so akoye na juma muaya o modi aba no so eno so ma hwemu ye pa na madikai atuma no mutu de madwenkyere atudwa na iti o twemu ani se ebra ye pau committee no me ka se me trimon treme se asemo ese omode ye committee sem no na empanimfo a ye pa omo no nso no ba ko pa chairman de da eye professor Vladimir Ntwidanso
yeah
na neti e ni aboni de anwie nti me ka kire ye mate fo no bi nse me yam hihyi me se anhwe ya papa no yɛde n'anim onyam ɛdɔkɔ akɔtwitwiri fam kwa na baabi a amammu no aduro no pɛda bi a nɔkora bi wɔ hɔ no apɛ sɛ woka yɛma wo nka but still a yɛpɛ nipa a wɔmowɔ animonyam sɛ yɛbɛpɛ committee anaa dwumadie bi ne yɛde no ahyɛ hɔ ni afa ase akoye bibibi atoto de ahye na no se ono na enti ahwe ya ebeye na ekofa ni ngwase aba enti na no report no ba ya mehwe na mse asema mekai eno na abai sese ede be nti ene yati committee no de si we dwira no se abrantie bi efreno kaka why social media activism we be onamwa na okwa akotwitwa mfoni ne ade open puntuo e de aba dwira ho kaka no de atiefo enimu ne se kaka no oye MPP ni o onye NDC ni oye MPP ni ana na oye sa adwuma eno nti dako yete hwa ayenka bi nhemu ye se ya bro kaka akuno ena afi na ntachi ena yete se basabasa yekosie kaka basabasa asi ama Ashanti regional minister ede sojafo akọhọ ama ọmụ akọtutu etuo asan komumrante ebe mienu asan prepra nipa bebree eno ene ma committee yete enti mejiri se yete committee no na Ghana ni babia de ohwe ni mu ene se committee no bekwa akọhwe ni abehwe de wadi bone na asotwe yedi be mano amamfo edi be ye nhweso te oman Ghana ye kabi mamin kabi aye wo mu no ye chiri atutrasem ye demra na ebu man no enti bonidie te obetwintu akum ni pakwa no entachi e ma ho kwai emma ebebo atranse wo ye man no mukura eti committee ko transi nipa ye frɛ wo ma omudi adanse nyina nyamencha de ye hwe bi wo television so eti de ekro bia na obia nim nyema apiepie ho ene social media dawroma sojafo besi ye ekosi se wo mo ebu nkotodwa ye ni emrante edwan na wo mo tutu atue nyina ye twa de be kire Ghana fo nyina a obia hunu bie Wamo eba committee na ni musubedi adansi ensema omo kan ye se wo mse bi ni mu nyina no committee fo yi hwe nyina na Ghana fo nyina so ye hwe bi eti report no ba ya ekohe report no ya mi anim ni neche se entwa yi de dikai committee fo nyama bi kakra bi wo hode a womo etimi esi womo bo enya kokoduro ekan ya na enu da ne kwam
ebi ni de wa hinsa general
ba ko me se wo mo etimi ekan se sojafo no ko e no enye se bia obi attack wo mo na wo mo fight back into wo mo see ya no without any reasonable provocation and now mo start etutu atuo ebi ko kan emranti enti anu se eda ne kwam na eno nso no ya ade a na wo mu ntimi nyi ho akinye efise de ono bedi adanse ekura ema wo mu gina so kan se enye provoked no ono kura aban tina so tabre ya me ne o kase se de ya onya kwa mbe kan sa no kura eye doctor ono we dwira ho a ono ena prafo ni wo mu akum wo mu no ye de amunu ni prafo no ko ne ho se wo mu ye doctor fo no wo mu nim de se wo to obi tuo na aka se doctor nkoye postmortem a o nim de a obetimi a kire se etuo no ugya na nim ne to ya na ugya na ki ne to ye se nipa no o fesi wo abedi udem ena wo so defend ho na okunu na se o dwane na wo to ball na ki a eno so doctor bedi ho adanse kroje a etese na enye se mrantie bi ebe atati sojafo ana omo be ye bibibi na mom sojafo ba wo mu dwane mrantie no dwane na om tutu atuo no bo wo mo etu he abuba na efiri wo mo achi na kopie wo mo ani enti soja pani a obetena ho any putting pen for a veteran or Mubechan, Nkontompo say, now or more attack you, more fight back near the Adini, it be so crowd me say, one more April prior, no, now Mukra, Akundia, na Ebikura, Akundia Nubi, one can say April prior, no, a bin a 2 kum, one more. Asem basa eno nyina no committee no timi etranse ka se eno de enye nokre na sojafoɔ no kɔɔ no a asif sɛ wɔn command ɛna wɔn kɔɔ na mo hyɛ aseɛ tutu atuo a nipa bi epira ya bi so wuye enti nka wɔn aka no saa awie no nanka recommendation wɔ hɔ no nanka eno na amanfoɔ pɛatie.
Okay, but General Bebacho Adaroma, findings are our report. In fact, number 10 of the finding, say, we, after careful examination of the evidence relating to the event preceding the death of Kaka, are convinced that the evidence.
Recommendations. Question will be a mum. So would be a mukaka.
Near one more say, and yes, a yaman samana, Jumana Kaka,
so would be a muna, name come in see. On my style of interview, no. May yet some renew you now be a question. Ya na boati for no.
The Batomati,
and I be almost finding back also say. Police in here, no, a police penny or hono. Or no, now only my Juma. Omo wadi omo yusi ese incompetent. Wa gunu na juma kura na enam so ebi pa ena basabasa eno ebaaye. Enunti wa koye aye fact finding of fact say nipa no onim na juma ena wanye na juma yi na ye say baaye no. Enti ukoduru say ede na emfa nye no a ahimfie obufo wi a na afi ato say ye beka asotwe.
Yeah.
Entina obia to nim se eno nso asotwe be di akiraba. Ye di obi emu nso no. Sojafo ekoye se wo mu koduru ya unprovoke wo mu sha ase kunkum amanfo yi. That say wo mu by with some instruction. Se mo kwa e bi a shoot and kill. Eno ntimi hu se regional minister so betra ho. Eka se ono na osoma omo ema omo be de omo ye eti se mo hu se de sojafo be ye anye yi a amfa kwan papa so a na da se sojafo na omo tutu atuo no ana nipa osoma omo ma omo instruction omo kodi so no se no nso anka danta na cinema ana fe so mo san ye bibi fact finding adi atia this year na ono so odimu akotere a tete eno nso ni enim se asotwe wo ho a mo de bema ana afei so mo san mo ye we nyina wie no ena mo koka se Kaka ni wu a owu ye no amanfo edi videos ni adi nyina ba bekire mo ni wo awu ye no mo de madwene ye mo se enye ni wo no enye adwuma na o ye social media no a ekoti aban no nti na eku no
na mum ya busuan asem
na mum ya busuan tokwa eno so ye bi se o mo se o mo mechire mu a eno so poto na meba no so
okay
eno nti ye ba wo mo ba recommendation no se wo hunu se we ye dibone soja ni akotutu atuo obia ge video wo bu nkotodwe no emu at ni party said the ope otwen akunu no abonu tu akunu wo apaye premeditated eno nti se wo hunu sa na wasan be conclude se ensete nkoye sa no wa ya ukokum nipa na ensete ukunu a se de ugina mranim se wadi ewu ya kam yenti afetie so the ni punishment ne se yemfa no ma soja fo no a ya o mo mpe kwa bi nkotwe na so anu anu no we say nipa ayakum omo aprapra omo no nyina no the committee no timikan no police ni a wo si na juma enso ani enti oya incompetent onim na juma kura eno so ka ho na kofa we bai ono so na so ntwe ni say en transfer no ana afen regional minister ono bedi ono na order soldier for no ma omo ba bedi sa anya mbransem no ono so na so ntwe ni say en fa no nko training enunti ana fe so otan koka say kaka wuo no enye ni social media activism ti no wuye na busua ntokwa enti o recommendation ni say afi wo mo awu no including kaka no
ya mo mpata sika
empata enkoma o mo busuafo afi kromo ho no yankope park mabunu ebedi a wo mbebo so ball ni ne manema enti wutie sa report ni se de masia summarize ya minua questions ya obebi sa ni se enti says police ni a oya district commander onimo adwuma oya incompetent na wanti mi anka se bia di bre no kura no a ya di ama na oya district commander no onye competence so be handle district ebi kura ya nti na homa so ana bibisa woti ya transfer no na kroban na ono de epe incompetent police for enti de waya no wejura no de mutimi kan ya ne say yemfa no nko say kwa na brekum no nko repeat no hobie eno ne punishment no a ye de bebo ama o man na ya chechire no ye enti ndi ate anim eno nso soja ni so a wo ka say esi ya refer soja mfa nkoma soja foi aya na kufu adu amamu emu no
okay
soja na protini bia ni ho a ya refer no say yankoti na so a ya twe na so de yehu ni say ya ka say obi nkotwe wo mo yan refer no for asotwe a na a recommendation for promotion
okay general patame bawo enti adwuma committee no aye ni nyina no say o summarize ya o ba describe adwuma ni say general
nye aya cover up adwuma aya ade a kaka wuo no a owu ye no na etan say every ensemo ano okantia aban na democracy mu eche say ye wo freedom of speech na aban so record kire say o kasa wo amamu emu a bibia timi yaw press my ba kwawu aban timi hwehwe mu meka hwe nkire Ghana fo ya buru binom soja fo akoburu media houses akoburu nipa ehu asem bedema yentimentwe obi aso ana afa ya close media houses radio stations ebrebe edo so yehu bibibia ewo mu enti se kokoduru se emranti aso start use social media na ye bekum wo mo nso dia na chesa afa de do no ya afno tegare international community no nyina ahunu se abai we kwanya odi na mamuo no nam so no enye democracy
general enti cover up no why na cover up general
mbacha say
me say cover up no wo say adwuma ni nyina sa na wo hunu no
say no na me ka bai wo pre wo enti na ya say wo mo pe bibi kwan bi so eye say committee bi a enya aban na akọhwe kaka wuo num na wo mo abeka mu nokura say kaka wuo no na busuafo na ku no enye bibi a waye enti aban de ni ntanim enti committee no nyina no na bosie no
okay
enu ntina wo mo ko ba ya report am di bai mi bisa na ye bisa Professor Ntwidanso no ye nyina ye tie de o kan ye kaka abusuafo ebisa questions kura no ono say woman ni right say woman bisa no question hey oman be na pani ya de in a democracy now see obi antimi hold you accountable obi antimi comment on wajuma waye Professor Awokasa wo democracy mu no ana de to su bie mu nso ye bisa no say den ana o mo conclude say kakawuo no enya ni social media activism na on chechire mu a o ti wo mo adwuma no ya nsoma wo mo say wo mo nkopɛ de ku kaka na enunti eno de ku kaka de prosifo ne behu
okay General Pato me bawo se uhwe adwuma committee ya finally na fe yeja kwan no u be suggest say nke ensan so power another probably be a permission
ma asate mi hia me pa just 2 minutes enunti no Chelsea enye Majuma ne say mo kope ade eku kaka na enka mo terms of reference ho a then na finding of fact paragraph 10 na o kire no eba ya committee no timisi sudua people say kaka wo no wo mo de ebetimi asi wo mo bo aka say enye ni social media adwuma na busuafo ne ku no wa so say yansuma o say ko kire de eku kaka Anunti na ya kamia koye se ada se report no omudi koye na obi twire hye mu ana se wo mo ankasa na twire hye mu eche se entiase enim anunti ba bia the whole purpose of committee no say wo be kwa cover up the ku kaka every day wa ko twire ade without basis ye bisa se twire mu a wo say protifo ene behu de eku kaka na onim say protifo na ewe de eku kaka then na wo kwa command report conclusively say de eku kaka na busuafo
okay
na we so what's our recommendation say abayin kotia compensation en command sa busuafo na wo mu ku kaka no
all right General Ebrenity ma yenda wasena ye fancy ha che bibia ni a Yebesan so atwetwe enkomo bio yeda CP General.
Mentome da atimia.
Ora Johnson esi odun ketia General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress. Ena na pay no atwetwe enkomo no. Well, na dwenche wa kira dwen e committee no adwuma wo mo aye ho. Onso so adwenche Fabren e wo Facebook, Adom TV e wo Facebook na fe Asempa 94.7 FM. Like page no na fe share stream no na afofro onso so wo mo enya bi enhwe. Yamra Studios na fe Yemeshan komotwetwe no ase ora deep sani as always adura issue yi ba ye yene no a ene tra han mo share the security implications ni ade a ene report no aba so it's a proper say yebesan so afre na fe ya share adwuma committee no wo mo aye or security analyst rasani ne mo akwaba as always African way there otiso bibia moko yede nyame ase well me give say one committee report okay me pese ya jebre na fe ye hwe terms of reference a ye de ma committee no ubetimi from where you sit abie so ama ye dwuma ye de hwe o mo sase o mo nkonkoye na fe ye wi a ye hwe say when they supposed to go on fact finding and so na so o mo tena se na nkofo ba be brief you o mo eno so ye pese ye tia se rasa
yo mi da se the edika maminchia pressure man Welbeck Welbeck
pressure man
easy any Welbeck who disappointed Welbeck me yes a mistake no view but yeah okay yeah. So me a project officer I mean my ejuma on a number of projects and project bia wa dia yefre project development objectives PDO so ube assess the impact and our project no aye ejuma anye ejuma eye sa PDOs no odi be kire say project we omo achieve omo intended targets And the baseline, the framework Uber used to judge them. So, for example, our project be you are supposed to take 10 people out of poverty. But at the end of the project, you succeed in giving each one private jets, but still, or more within poverty line. It means the project are failing. So the same thing with Ejura committee, or more terms of reference. And terms of reference, over use to as it were judge them. And there were 3 main points. Okay, almost see, or move public inquiry. So we take it into consideration. Inquiry into the issues surrounding Ejura, and of course the protest and And the second one is any other issue incidental, meaning say related to Basa. Then a report containing recommendations to government. My good old professor, Enchidanso, or me idea or Legon. At the same time, me my second Master of Science degree, or Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College, or me idea. Obia, anytime me war issues, and I me pay understanding into some topical issues, to me consult, just recently, me share war IE. Program be honum. And me see, professor, my idea, but me know we are professor, but we don't agree on some major areas because committee report in as much as my idea generally, but there were serious issues with that report, especially who relate to terms of reference. Meet Professor Enchidanso on a number of networks, or say, and yet in the position of the committee to tell us we know who we. But from my perspective, in the position of to recommend an investigation. Person use criminal for diplomacy purposes. Recommend an investigation into way no way. However, on the other hand, that really is contravenes or earlier assertion about not investigating, because committee, and yet an investigative committee. Yet to inquire. So it based on inquiry, that you can forge ahead in terms of investigation.
Inquiring and fact finding. What so be here? How do we strike the balance?
Fact finding, very synonymous with to inquire.
Inquiry,
but you're different from investigation. Because fact finding, any inquiry, na tread the trajectory to go. So maybe based on information, because you are fact finding, you are inquiring, and then say, no, this issue is switching what we thought, and so there's the need for police to step in and conduct a thorough investigation into the whole thing. However, on the other hand, very interesting, and general categorically, hit the nail on the head. Almost see. But name, and I read line over and over again that they found out that Kakane wono enye based on in political activism, but rather family feud. How did they arrive by that? Because we saw statement where Nhuye drew, and it undermines what is currently going on in court. Because in say issue where our court, and still further investigation is being conducted. How did they arrive by it? On the other hand, 2 other persons, swear. So the way are almost arriving at the fact that Kaka.
And yet social media,
how about 2 other persons, one or whom, and with silence. And Osha reports, there's no semblance of justice. And me assure say, who are correspondence with Ijra. Speak with them and get to gauge their mood. Obia wa one word na justice. So upe to me see Wembley Stadium ube to me billions of dollars
as compensation.
Yes, but you see, and one thing, compensation doesn't solve anything. And it calms nerves, okay? But the most important issue above all, yes, sir, justice, no. And unfortunately, report, it doesn't give justice whatsoever, especially to other persons who were killed.
Okay. Dr. Thomas Boabin, as always, on also so say issue yaba and no akasa ewo ho on a number of times. There are points in the report, for instance, paragraph 22 of the report, and I read, the committee also finds that the situation became fluid and got out of hand because the police, one, did not work on their intelligence sharing, and two, failed to prepare for the situation on the ground. 3, over-relied on the military personnel and thereby failed to organize adequately in terms of personnel and equipment. Look, memo akwaba na meju adwenche ewo report no.
Yo, me da se ewo akwanye. Me fa akwan we so na machia ahwefo. Ene atifo nyina. Ya some senga express aka say die nanka. Me teacher die nanka ja me tim baby. Yes, but we die as a margin no be fa die omo a document no. Yes. I think say we no kire say na police for na ho no. Oma ho de no. Enu de omo betimi de agina de na ekoso no ano. Na ya hwe a ye be ye no ntem aka say osenka on say report baby osenka they should have, you know. Sabeya nka mo rely on the military. But the situation on the ground. How long it even took for them to get support from Mampong. And you know, a major weakness I see who say any Jurango. You see up north be armed robbery near the open back unya. On bedroom no mind do me no mo. And you know, a true na said me kan nya Jurango. Nasa kra bisi de bia. Enti I think say going forward no me the hona me my policy for no the hona ya adwene wo. Okay. I will say who say we a wake up call. As a country we can't continue like this forever. Say nyina no at least ye be politics no kakra free mu me ba na jamiti me amfa. Some of no. Let me see no general amfa. You know. You be here from na you who say ne media for nyina na be ma pressure aba mpanyimfo no so a ne who say we cannot intimate na say emma yen youth and yen crew and yen police and koso anyesa because unim o can report na the entire over rely on the military the history of Ajura I will hold that. I know the answer. Bibia, uchuru dia problem. Utu about population census. Bibia. There's tension there. And you know, and almost on even before this. Okohona akoye research. Omeka say they don't have and they didn't have confidence in the police. And the police want to answer him. Omona omona ti ho. The way omhu omo. And the say bobo ba no. No mo hu say ade na de omuntimi. Enti no we anya say preparation be no metima yi biem omuni hwe e dey preparation no metima yi so enti it's unfortunate but I think say we have a long way to go and yet opposition and any government as a nation or see a tenacity ne hwe ade wi hwe nipa o ma hwe hwe o nkwa nya no nkwa ya hwe be take so many years and sana ejura asansi on them. Yes, it takes so many years because look at this tension. Yes. So how do you go and convince the youth? Dear pa na be yama youth na na BBC etu obi a obekọ police for ho. Wait me answer police officers ho nyina. Which must say DC so
many
many times.
Mebunu no wo police.
Ayira ama omo kura say nya police for no ho adwempone. E go be margin say o man fresh ya for na man kasa de nansi. E be margin.
Okay, but recommendation say yen transfer police commander wo ho no. Is it is it right?
Yes, I think say the course ni nyina no a. Na omunye the whole institution in here. Me cry the commander nko a. Nka mo demonstrate bibi. Ye hu say police for no niam no bi to
demonstrate dan yente na homa so ana so yemfa no ko gina court.
Oh, ahoma so tie me ka the entire setup no. Se be yi nka bitimi omaye total overhaul. So what them say overhaul. Not necessarily say who yi na free one na de ne ba ha na otena homa so.
E kwan be na total overhaul no e san be restore sa die na.
Obia in fact I dey always say no na e can say I agree with many of say now say can recommend say now no there should be investigation. So but me sure say any too late. So man recommend the crana so be na case of the on the basis of my recommendations and my findings no you institute criminal investigation into the case. Ebasa ibehu niam bebre which was their second terms of reference no say any other will be but some more need that capacity to do that sort of investigation. And you know what I think say at this moment I say nya come be so security for no be ground I'm called ground o me information bebre probably I'm can police for nya say ground I'm nipa me ni bia na me nsan bia I'm to that I'm no issue so yes do transfer commander na I'm ho no ntidien we DC you know which is perfect but beside another DC I'm the argument no ne say DC you know say
but Dr. Boabi Patomebawo look we policy analyst how we've handled kwaya faso handle such situations over the years. What do you know? Emre was say yenya policy laid down. Kwaya faso handle some of these issues. You know, for instance, should it be said police ni aye bone na transfer no, and also the ni aye bone na go to guard room na sad no aba be na juma. What is the way forward?
I know the ebasa tembia no nipa no lose confidence in the institution. You see, you have a transfer no. And I be akrabi and you know as a nation until na make say Kenya criminal investigation no man who say oh commander we odi bone on the basis of that we are prosecuting and ask punishment but so them say but until we do that very difficult we dey nyina kan adwene na church
yes
say we ka say oye bone and behavior be was was a bibu ha anya criminal baby to me unethical unprofessional and not criminal and to be on the basis of that there and you find him free ho and come be fufuro what them say and I will say it mean proper investigation it me establish so be the bone there and yet and then and yet 10 years ago 20 as a country no was here the DNC form so be the bone here ye nyina di obi the bone na yina di anya enough punishment obi wi asika na wote na so wa yina dia so go disca no o say punishing pa no say de be ya ebe ma ne matu obi otenche na okoye bia obesuro dia yade ye no no say no maka justice yade ye no akoma be de be to ne yem but to do this we should have enough basis say enough investigation and who say as much as differ because nipa so I need di no we can say yen transfer obi enti obi ahoma so obi papa o obi nua obi kunu
obi breadwinner
ono so obo ne bra tisi anhwe ye ni anya proper investigation
the same way doc omo free mu omo free prime so
yes enti no all time bia no enti na ye here proper investigation ni establish say and ye ho kwaka mu dia And they say na bibi achire marakra che say why are they no wanye ni yi. Say de be ya yenko gina eya no. Say yen na eya.
Oh, maybe say as a policy analyst because for instance, they see what US George Floyd issue by how they dealt with it. At the end of the day, obi ehun say nipa no odi bone no, ye jaili no.
Very good.
Are we not there yet? Ye mburu ho as for mine.
Na no how they dealt with that issue, no? Would they compare her and you? They wouldn't have reacted that way if not because of the popular uprising. So the nipa here across the globe from Ghana, the issue statement. Pressure na koye no. They had no option. Menka say yen so enema hunu so. Tina make say mu nyina maka ho media. I was say timi discuss here deal we say. We are moving to a certain level. We have our MPs.
Exactly what we are doing here discussing.
Very good.
But may really say you see what US no abeye best practice. Abeye be that one man. Or so be extra so how they reacted there no. Ebi ana ye ha no yentimi react sa.
Why?
Ye be ties. Ye be say niema ye be to abo ama ye the water cannons near the chasing. We may not be able to handle it the way they did. And until you hear clear-cut policy, maybe say clear-cut policy on how to deal with some issues.
But we get the policy.
I don't know, say more input as policy think tanks, more input.
Oh, we do. That's what we do. You know, but now make us say, something drives policy. A year drive home. Yeah, say report here, baby. Now, I'm say police officer who could diminish a unit will be at the other. Advocacy, I will see pushy. And more media, other civil society groups. You pushing him and say, no, it is about time. Say, BP as a nation, the guide. Okay. Because Ecosia, MPP for power, and this is for a blame BBR on MPP. And this is for power, MPP for blame BBR on NDC. Just say, we had discussion here. We say there be a you know, but we can't continue like this forever. We can't continue like this.
My member Adib so Doc Mesaba. Me who say that so person o can be.
Exactly. Many identity na Ghanaians be bring say punishment transfer your punishment. Transfer your punishment. So in essence, police paying no. I mean, we are getting him off the hook. Like he's not been punished because transfer keke. Okay, but we a tre adibi, your short-sightedness in dealing with problems in Ghana, and Dr. Bibi are very, very important. And you're long-sighted because what is the basis for the transfer? And you see, or you're incompetent. So your transfer, you know, or very competent.
Or could display the same incompetence in wherever.
So that's a short-sightedness. Exactly. So Anka you're long-sighted, like Doc is saying, Anka you're very investigative. Or your bonia, then we'll deal with him the appropriate way. When your bonia about what your mistakes be, and your serious crime, then you better train, no, not just him, other commanders all across the country. Because you see, policy, I mean, your policy analyst, so I stand to be corrected by Doctor, is driven by so many factors. Historical antecedents, okay? Changing trends, as and when a needed basis. But the best policy, a policy I obey me anticipate, say, or China, we better me for so. So my, for example, sir, military intervention, no issue, no look, it has been pending for a very long time because police almost see always word no, you're overwhelmed. Or when you're overwhelmed, then they call in on the military, and then you're overwhelmed. How do you define overwhelmed? At what stage can you describe situation no as overwhelmed? And are overwhelming. Okay, I think say Anka there was a policy no in place. A bit defining in clarity would not always involve the military, even a very simple.
Okay, but Adib, why quite security analyst say what can overwhelmed that important from where you sit.
You see, in Bible Sem you are there first situational transitioning. Okay. situation no a bet me movie from stage to another. But me my own brief is even within the police service, there were different units, okay? And anytime we about police or more tactical units, then SWAT, special weapons and tactics. But when him say within the police, there were formed police units even more capacitated than SWAT. No training SWAT, no. The time you started formed police unit under IGP Alasan. Look. Normal training SWAT officers.
Okay, so the findings by the committee, paragraph 17, as a result of the small number of police and the lack of adequate riot control equipment and gear, the police were overwhelmed. This obviously gave room for the marauding youth to have a field day.
Good. Exactly. So police, different units, no, still the situation is getting out of hand. Then omubetumi invite SWAT. Still, omubetumi invite formed police units. Maybe Accra, maybe they have to find a way of getting them there in real time. Then the situation becomes so sticky to the extent to say it poses an existential danger to life and property. Then omubetumi invite military. But a caveat. Military they don't ask the police to move aside, then they go. They take over. Complement it. But Usha videos, what do you see? The police, as I said, they were bystanders, like onlookers. Military arrive, and usually situation to me graduating, depending on the circumstance. And from so far as I'm concerned, I mean Usha videos, protesters no monkita etuo. So I don't know why military they arrived there and almost first option, which should have been actually last resort straightforward engagement. Okay, so I'm thinking, say, report to some extent biased because we see police commander were on transfer. How about the military commander who ordered for the military, the soldiers to fire at the people? So what is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Okay,
and I would have expected
paragraph 15 of the report. Now we can say protesters no but the report states, as we note further that the youth in protesting on the 29th of June on the street of Fedra used offensive weapons like machetes, swords, cutlasses, clubs, sticks, and stone. We are convinced that these offensive weapons were not necessary for the voice or grievances of the youth to be heard. Eti ubekaya that's me see here. We had our reporter saying, "Say, ono de when who say protesters no obia tutu anase bibi." So for the security personnel to move in with guns, live ammunition. You
see, crowd management. There for proportional use of force. Okay, NASA force completely disproportional. Completely, you need justification for that use of force. Besides, even Ube 282, you were rubber bullets, rubber coated bullets. Unfortunately, almost use live ammunition. Okay, and interestingly, obviously, mean kind pano or see na protesters no be obi kite tuo. But another security officer came and said, "They be no be an kite tuo." So it is even in the best interest of a soldier for a police for investigation to be carried out. So at least Yabet Tumia arriving at a conclusion as to who really killed those two persons. And your protesters then we have to fish them and deal with them. And you're a soldier then we have to fish them out because we a misdemeanor or a murder, 2 Ghanaians were killed. Okay, because when in danger a best set emotion a very dangerous precedence. Once who was our uniform, it grants you some invincibility and immunity. Because my own refi, sa zongo 6 no and zongo 7 no ya Then before the media, it will mean bibia it will free. Ask yourself who has been held to account. Election period, nipa who not a single person has been held to account. And we so you see. Even though currently, but people are fighting within themselves. So conflict situation, and if care is not taken, or China, for example, and then will be Pima, so we call reporting my police police or man yeshe. Next time we'll be fireman, so I make up police.
Be
Good. So when we do that, we are making people lose confidence in the state's ability to protect them. So the next time, we call police. And then what even started this in the first place? Almost see Kakewu, almost reporting by police. They were not being proactive. So after a burial, no, okay, let's register our displeasure. Almost block a crime. That is what it
that brings me to paragraph 22 now. I may do a drink channel. How the military handled, according to the report, that the police did not work on their intelligence sharing. And no, me person kakra intelligence sharing. Kwame Nesenka Prince for no one go about our intelligence sharing. No, there are two others.
Okay, in security studies, there are for intelligence cycle. Okay, from the need for that intelligence, no, then Ubema or logistics, any secure to mandating the intelligence. Who got that intelligence? No, it doesn't end there. There's a need for analysis. Okay, for example, Obi call bank, then you gather intelligence there of him, he's going into the bank. Okay, intelligence be better maybe or an armed robber, or a businessman or even or maybe he's going to save a situation. So there's the need for some breakdown of intelligence. No, it doesn't end there. Then Uber disseminating intelligence no the appropriate agencies. Okay, maybe military. For
instance,
ministries. Maybe attacking Ministry of Finance, maybe. Then you disseminate that information.
Okay, so in this case, in a draw situation, you know, the intelligence should have been shared
disseminated
between the police, the military, maybe the Regional Security Council or the ministry or something like that.
But me blame police completely. Before that, even intelligence, who share here, then they do their work with it. There were feedback mechanism.
Okay.
But me blame police completely. Because some military intervention way na afterthought. Even police now name. A regional minister, based on I don't know what to describe it, the political clout decides that or see on your information from Obi. With your information, a official intelligence source, a soldier, a police, and a party foot soldier. There's the need for an analysis. Unfortunately, when Yeshua with recourse to the Regional Security Council and the security setup on the ground, immediately soldiers almost intervening. So he even started all this in the first place. And me sure say police for no, just that they cannot say it. But almost they were taken aback because they were not expecting the military to intervene.
Okay. Adib, ma yen try home run fe yeba you go so ye unpack a drug committee report no here on Adom TV and Asempa 94.7 FM. Bidin the Chief Jerry Force in yeba. Now Adom TV Sunie Wote and Council Asempa 94.7 FM now Nnawotwe Yi na napem so yesin konya ye de brel abedaku a wo mo ehwe basabasa ye course so ewadwura wo mo reporter wo mo de abetodwa na yeguso aye bobo ho ti se wo hwen abehu zoom link no eda ho entubetimi adwane en zoom na sani ayeye no no yaje wo so wadwen kire obi abehu report no wakan mu ba bi recommendations wo mo ye findings no obetimi ede adwen kire aba enche bia ebe ko zoom no so na fe ya 5 bushon for ma zoom no so of course we the WhatsApp message no so o de aba number no ewo ho e beje be na fe akenkan WhatsApp messages ni na e de ama o meni ura Adib Sani or a security analyst so na Dr. Thomas Boabin or policy analyst so e tra de suapon mu e na ye twetwe enkomodok ma mensam emra wo ho ye twa ye ho no na kampese hwe some of the recommendations. And then maybe moving on to our second topic and yeah, moving on. You share recommendations a committee, and you kind. And Patasika, the committee recommends adequate compensation for the families of the two deceased persons, namely Abdul Nasser Yusuf and Mutala Suraj Mohammed. Adequate compensation must also be made, be paid to other injured persons, namely Louise Aikpa, 20 years, Awao Misbao, 16 years, and Nasif Nuhu, 30 years. These are the names known to the committee. And Patasika, the question is, Patasika saying, and a bit me, ama akuma atoyem, ma ya ubi honma, yeah, say I'm free or cry for what here. Doc.
Yeah, see. I'm say okay as Ghanaians enye uhia ankara iskadi ankanya ehwe our culture, our emotions, and dignity hunya pa. And we share recommendations in our 10 I say enye too clear. Apart from say adequate, who determines what is adequate?
Okay.
President and our family no amu ahwere omo nipa no. No kra no enti at this point no omo ye nhwemu no omo hunu say because also ye nhwemu compensation dey e dey pata nipa. And no na e dey ma omo a e be pata wo mo ana e betimi apata wo mo.
E no mu hia.
E no mu hia be ma omo akoma atom
ye ma na.
Okay. Asan ba ho omo mo re free niam kakra.
Okay.
E ya no so ate ana. Say ya nye careful ni ehun na sabi omo hospital dey betumi aka say ye hwe omo yade as part of the compensation because no omo ko na adequate no. I don't know another a major issue. But generally no sabi ya men say must be no hear recommendations in the committee no aye to a very large extent. Omo for mu die. O say bo mabaso. Omo aye omo dwuma. But the omo ye ni nyina no na ho odi ni nyina agina recommendations and conclusions. O hear recommendations na bu ho kra me akra achima adwene sem ya me professor omo de kan ho say yes ya be ebi mu enwe body camps NCC
and training education entity
on their right and we say meanwhile the main problem no ye ti hu nyina no e free the way military no and police no react here to some extent everything like I say yes so professional because her recommendation number 5 almost say it is further recommended that the military establishment review the actions of the unit now almost send the we no coin which means almost adjust to say there's a problem now we more there
on that no crown no say more time frame say in 2 weeks and in 2 months and bring us a report
more specific
so
na obi a ono office say onim the right dada you free bibia to me ha me no yeah no fa we no can say no say me go police station o call police station na the right no say on ko ho no o say we nyamboa and me ya mama hu say didi kakra mo hu say me nyamboa and bia any say if ba mu charge a and you know if you say there are some critical things I think be here concrete recommendations on than because we are here anywhere a vague recommendations are a vague.
Number 6, Doc, for instance, we further recommend the training of RegSec, MUSEC, DISEC officials in the Ashanti region in conflict and crisis management at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College.
With the advert to Professor Chidansu.
And utrini we more na ayede. Utrini we more na ayede. Because there is something missing. I won't say even though Omar recommend say any DC, you know. The reason I'm catching any DC, you know, and they say the continuous presence, no, and attention, but we have a final conduct now. No, seriously, he was not there. And you know what Tia here say, no, so they call. What Tia here say for all this while, I say Obi catch them and say Okoha. Na soldier for Okoha, Kotna soldier for Mukanu, na Kohubie. So, and I think say recommendations in the was some bed kakra. Was some bed kakra. 7 you see the nanka Bibiana may dream home, but the modify no.
7 also we recommend the deployment of a joint standard operative procedure.
The development of SOPs in military police operations. Not just SOPs. Military for the core no. The type of soldiers are no make me control situation because we hear report and say because someone na ben ho. Yes sir, omo na what it takes to deal with the situation.
Okay.
Omo na ben ho. And you know, operation, what's the name?
Calm Life.
Calm Life.
Or yeah, Calm Life. Sa nipa no skill now the Calm Life no. Obetimi at the control reality. That's a major problem. Until we are going forward.
It's a very good point.
Yes. Until we are going forward now, I'll say it to me who say this category of military personnel say about the worst scenario. See, he has some back it up. These are people trained for that. Yes, how far from recruit to be and we saw what happened.
Yeah.
By Nekoko was only psychological. Yes. Even though I'm about to say one of the strategies they use. Ubuko to now pointing Ghana and the peninsula no
intimidating.
But you know, I think say can you know as a nation I'll say we but answer the basic lessons a free mono or say her kind of day families in the befaso. Say treaty families ni ye no mbuto mo yamu automatically you from obeto mo yam. Say yes and fa hon ni pado do police for Google any equipment any idea tension because of Okromwa, which is not good for the development of the area and the region as a whole.
Okay.
The other day, Nami Chirawa DBN 2 warning shots see. Okay. Okay. Yeah, 2 warning shots see.
Okay.
Because bullets a travel at a certain velocity. So even an Kobe wa honuma a Bekobi on them she like
baby.
Unfortunately we because all right, but so adequate, no, I think it's not necessary. And come with me, because
the adequate compensation.
Yes, because media, you know, what's the definition of adequate? Because
how much is adequate?
1,000 cities, yes, you can be mommy, but for GCJ, maybe a chicken change. Would they improve, mommy? 1,000 cities, not sure the way I'm reacting. I mean, 1,000 cities.
See, 1,000.
So I mean, and it doesn't speak to the issues.
But do you think they should agree on a compensation sum between the committee or maybe between the Ministry of Interior and the family?
No, you see, the family. But only a bare blood money to some extent.
Very good.
Because to me negotiating over a death of a loved one.
Yes.
So what I say. So rather. A barrier between Ministry of Interior, any committee, you know, and government. So what I say,
but man, I don't see the compensation. Say it should be only in the form of money. And you know, there can be an interaction with the family. Say, so I'm about to yam kakra. Say, yes, you know, if I'm a child, again, mom say, mama.
Exactly.
They might ask for something different from money.
Maybe
exactly.
So,
it's true.
You understand? And the China say government now say check we see so monjim farmer the mano every month. And there's so much bisa. That will bring peace. Than say you be cheska. What is money?
But the other recommendation almost see training for
dissect.
But I think, to some extent, I would agree. To some extent, because
but it shouldn't be only for Ashanti regional.
Oh, they be general. General.
Yes, it should
because,
be general.
Mostly, you see, regional minister or no chairman of the RECSEC. Okay, usually, political appointees. One, he's not managed security before. So usually, name the implications of some of the decisions they take pertinent to security within the area. For example, Anka Ashanti Regional Minister on Nimbambo Sema, he would have known that you cannot take a decision without recourse to the security structure on the ground. Okay. Also, Western Regional Minister. And information are privy to by virtue of the fact that the chairperson of the Regional Security Council brought it out to the public limelight. And Ambwa, because it undermined an active investigation, it created a lot of controversy, bickering, lack of confidence, mistrust, and At the same time, he donated, meaning whether to call it donation, 3,000 cedis to be used to pay as ransom. But there were processes involved, and usually ransom payment, and not a last resort to, because a number of research into kidnapping, especially Nigeria or Honum, because the most virulent type of banditry or Honum. And I've gotten to a certain conclusion, say, kidnapping a trive where it is condoned, okay? So, without following due process, paying that money would mean condoning, rationalizing that action. Because honorable bet you have you. So what I say. And last resort. Besides, there were professionals. They would even negotiate. A lot goes into it. Unfortunately, because of some lack of training, just by virtue of the political clout, or bet me I call it the shots. Meanwhile, there were serious implications on Bambosem in the area of jurisdiction.
Okay, so then there are other, the building of, establishment of a sports and other recreational facilities in Edra under the Zongo Development Fund, so as to rechannel the energies of the youth.
Why not creating jobs?
Thank you.
I know the Asenka, I don't know a better.
Because the me say me
and I'm the Kaka say, you for no both. Ye Pija crash sports stadium kusi hokra menye sure say be ma mo atomo yam. I go bebu no. Abufu no be kan bubu no. Enti no say to yebo. Na ye ne experts ehunu kwan betimi de o mafa so. Na engage o mo na say ya no kofo mo a. Na say o priorities na ba ko ne say o hia sports complex. Yeah, sports complex among because me say sports complex all over the country. Enti no say koye we ya na koye say ye nua wu na de wo de breye ne ura mu kura obekai de bia be ura bia obekai enti I think say it's good Nigeria deserves sport and facilities, but I don't think say we inti say kusi sport complex
Minia e come to me ni juma how say make me akoshe ball. Anything that me say, upet me see Wembley Stadium. But you see already, especially Mantian, the youth in the area, they are frustrated. Okay, a lot of them are pushed into uncertainty. And there are no opportunities.
Okay.
Opportunities kakrano protocol list already nipa buefu. So
all right. But you better zoom no so. But Doc, my share same through. So as we delve into our second topic, the MMDC's list now be toja already. Confirmation voting near the also at the assembly level. But you share our video in. Na fe area membra hona fe menji wadwenche.
One municipality, the renomination of Pisa Kutai Mumin as one mayor came as almost shock and disbelief considering the alleged corruption tag that has been repeated severally and hung on his neck by his opponents. Furthermore, the wedge between him and a section of MPP supporters, and above all, the cat and mouse relationship between him and one central constituency chairman, Ali Kamara, failed to dim his political career, and his name was once again dangled in front of the 45-member assembly to decide his fate. The tension that filled the 18-yard length assembly hall epitomizes the deep-seated rift and division at the assembly. As a result, there was heavy police presence inside the hall and outside. The voting, sorting, and counting of the ballots went on peacefully. However, it was not same with the announcement of the results.
A choice has not been made on this particular ballot, so it is therefore declared rejected ballot. One rejected ballot.
There were counter-arguments from bleeding-heart defenders of the president's nominee, insisting that the ballot that was rejected was valid for them and that the nominee has gotten the 30 votes required for its confirmation. It led to confusion and altercation, resulting in the assembly member for the Dego residential area allegedly slapped by one Admuda. Admuda was quickly arrested by the police. Another unidentifiable person was also arrested by the police as a result of the ensuing confusion. The Electoral Commission, however, made a U-turn and the results declared.
The yes votes were 30, representing 66.7%. The no votes were 15, representing 33.3%. Rejected votes 0, and by these results, the president's nominee, in the person of Honorable Alhaji Isahaku Momen Tahiru, is confirmed and declared as the honorable member for the assembly.
One municipal director of the Electoral Commission, Bernard Alaglo, further explained why.
Of the voter is clear. He did not make any mark on the no column. It was just a stain outside the territory of what is required of us. If a mark was made at no column, at the same time hot, yes column, then it would have been hot, a complete rejected ballot.
There was not much excitement outside the hall, which is arguably a reflection of the township. The re-election of Nnawotwe Yi movement for some is seen as a party victory, and he himself is already aware and has sounded apologetic after he was confirmed.
And I've opened the doors already for those who feel that my first tenure has not been so much good for them, that they should come in, and I'm ready to improve upon what happened in the previous period to bring everybody on board.
Early at Ndom, 36 assembly members converged at the assembly hall to take part in the exercise to confirm the president nominee, Raymond Nero. Raymond Nero is a 40-year-old teacher at St. John's Technical Institute at Nandom. Afterwards, Regional Minister Dr. Hafiz Bin Sali, who introduced the nominee, pleaded with the assembly members to vote for him for the speedy development of the municipality. Out of the 36 assembly members who took part in the exercise, only one declined his confirmation, giving him 97.2% of the votes cast. His counterpart
Salam and ode samane no efri wa mesri akrachefo a amampani abo wo mudin a I mean assemblies no eto wo mo eso aba but mame come zoom ni so Kwadwo Ernest ene dikan mame hwe Kwadwo on mute wafidie no na afi yenje wa dwenche so fa nkoma ya twetwen ewo na otwe dwumadie no so Kwadwo yenti o
yo CJ madase ene akwanya ode amame na machia watiefo time ena mekasa free nze time so enra omokoto abano ema nominee honorable Dr. Lucy Echampon onya 100% na enkomo a motwetwe na no kwefa edura committee report no ho me de minim se obi ewa ahoden na se oni adwuma ya na okosi stadium de mana minim dwumako a ode stadium ne beye se wo be fa ne se okoye worker o stadium ho na osore a watua ne ho ka ana se oni adwuma no osore onkotena ono nkogigi nani eduru anwumra a enigye no be mana men ana se den e no na busia ebedi enti me the recommendations na aba ne de minhu ene mapapa bi ebetimi afri mu e de ama timamufo ewo edwura ene abusia a omade hye afri mu ene wo mo nso a aprepra empo ebi wo ho a ontumi mfa ne nsa enye adwuma je se obi ene obedan no recommendations ne de nya de me hu ne se ebeboa.
Okay Kwadwo mayenda wasepa se onso so de wadwenche no de every time mensiri no mu e de abran yenhwe se yewo obi nso ewo ye zoom ne so a na oba na ye introduce pe na wa on mute na fe wakọ wasem so bebi a ugina bebi a wo join yen every na yaje won so wadwenche Patrick Asamoah Minta Patrick Asamoah Minta Pat on mute wa fidie ni man na fe bebi a wo join ye free na yentie o Patrick Asamoah Minta okay right mame call my name Musini Kofi J in 15 man term and oton crafree ono so di dani edi the election of the MMDC is no be ano. Kofi ma memo akwa aba na fe mimbisa ehefa assemblies do saying na wodo ani edi akire na then call supporting boy aba na Kofi Agye.
Oh, we no ka say there betra ka say assembly me nsa na no amedi mani edi akire. Obodi ka to be but no me nsa na medi mani edi akire. The edi kan Aguna East. Na Aguna East no mami a yamampen na nata kwagufa adubo ndi hana asamwa. Na anida ana na so mkoto no so aba mko sheso na assembly members any government appointees na no mini pediasa na etwa se omoto aba edema mamen ba ko wi achi no na we wo semne se mamen ntimi anyamu be half mpo 50% mpo wanya na watimi akọ second time yakoto no so aba we the total rejection and na
Aguna East Kofi Agye Aguna East hona na one ama frimpon ye this no ana
yes
okay
yes hona na Dennis ama frimpon
yes
DC
okay
that no o panic for time no obey DC 1 year and aban sisan 2008 and obey DC kakra 1 year
okay
enti eno achi no MPP san ba ye no masama another 4 years into the 4 years ni o san senko okobiem esunya dia meno ka se yebo ni din eno na nam so nko bo ma me ha na samwa din na eno nipa ekoto aba no eye ma akwa aduasa ba sije enipa ma akwa edu pe ana to aba ede ma me na 20 to no 10 to yes idea dance just ma me entimi enya 50% impo ono a wantimi awi na nu so wantimi enya half impo na nka pese ebia 10 days achini asa koto aba ede amanto no say no agise man pen na dan kokufa eboni din biem na ebia asa ko bi say eye dia sa anye ye dia na agise ye boni pa fufuro din na endi pa fufuro ebe contest na eto so aba enti ho ele ko ba say no party for na gaye enu na NPP amunyo ko supporters nzo bu afupa amutisi ko mu na onwo ye ya kire ade ati assembly members and a party for company for say omanti many assembly members na nkasa ama maame no yentimi an confirm ntom so ebo internet se maame na amade a ene aba no nya de a obi omde be bia omo so be hwe ame ato no so aba se obenya DC isanse maame no omo ogide se maame na boa party no financial intina aba se na nketwa se omo to aba edema na omo so de omo won no abeto won sa ewi eche ne ba gas out nzo enipa maako 28 ana ombeto aba ehonum Joseph Nyani onna na ye MC ene da nyame chadum amomo sa aba edema na wa retain ni seat ana say ni MMDC position MC position wa say retain bi mu a onya 100% nipa maako 28 assembly members the government appointees no omunyina eto yes edema na enna papa no enya ni TDD mu a watinye afantede sanso na obapim weja gbawe constituency nso a na say weja gbawe municipality nso a ura Patrick Kumo ono ena na MC oya 4 years ene sa bo ni din bim ono body o ko no do time o cha say ye ko file no ono ngware nipa wo file ya obi an file anka no onzo nipa makoma kwa duo no assembly members and government appointees na ya duo no ono so 100% ura Patrick Kumo so na so assembly members e wo weja gbawe nyina asa etoma na onu to 8 million constituency na say district me nsa we na CJ na me di mani edi akire.
Okay, but so far baby I would do what the chair no Kofi basa yo bia ankoso e wo me
oh dabi we gas out ya na basa e bia ankoso and before ogo beto abaro to no bia bo white dia dance pe face o matwe we dada sanso na ba we jagba we so the same thing but we are na security very tight so apart from say na bia umunim de message but ni nyina no hwe two constituency ya na security very tight pa military for and police for so ho no mo hwe say bibia twins okọ Aguna East nso a also na police for but after election na amano and na boys ne pese omukoye basa party office ko sese ne manenso bambo for hwe etimi calm situation down ama omutu protect bibia basa bia do they were demonstrating na ka obutu so munya ya nko be sai ne manenso bambo for intervene fast ama bibi boni bi antimi ansi.
Okay, ne kwa no sika somewhere udi wani hunu bi sika envelope edi akwaniaba assembly members
sika somewhere de tije me person me boko municipality bi debate to aba no wie no me tije assembly members ne ka say mun go sika ne ntem ne munye sika ne ntem ne ya to bi a munye ne ntem ne enko out me say promise e ba mu no to say nya so ka obi na ba bi wo mutimi wi ni ye sanze to say bi promise o say bi mo say ya to aba na wie also 100% ya to wie dia confirm ai that one na some members ni make a statement no say ya to wie dia munye ye envelope no ntem fast na yenko bin na that is what the comment and some members ni and you there be as you omantimi win na one thing is some members ni bi they are demanding high allegations be demanding 5,000 be bu akwa ento kwa what is be ento no some members they are demanding close to 10,000 15,000
Kofi Ajay assembly member baako demanded 5,000 Ghana cedis.
Oh yes, CJ. Baby demanding 5,000. Baby could be demanding more than that because baby want to say heat na no wash, and the baby heat na no wash no. Baby demanded because and American some members need be okay no makasa. Just say we no so e season because apart from we no assembly member no nyam for so be our assembly no so be the obenya setting allowance and as be omo assembly meeting and you know say every year the announce omo 3 times first quarter second quarter no and you know of course sitting behind so as assembly na be the mom ka baby am so omo dey was require 100 Ghana cedis and for 4 months in na ska e be assembly member obenya wa assembly hon 100 Ghana cedis
okay
onya bibia any ntuaneka and we no so opportunity omo dey to omukoko say dey do a party MPP and NDC and as a political party omo so do time here to abade MPs na so yom koko no da no omo so ayom koko nti baby a wutu do man win here baby a ebu a demand 4,000 and 5,000 maybe a nipa ni 20 tia 5,000 normal 2,000
na say no you 20 hour okay Kofi Ajay mame no na yem fancy ya Kofi Ajay manam sini owo central region ana ode amane no e de aban ma yen hwe say ye betimi akozum no so kakra ba before that no Dr. Boabin reporter reporter the Abba one so do wani adi the election of the MMDCs the issue and the pempese ye hwe eye sikasema eno de as we speak minim kwan ya betimi ayidia free yaman no same and it cuts across abasisi at the assembly level to aba ede ama DC and MC amampani abonidin no how to so akoyi sikasem enti sa ya ntoma doc ye ne den na ye
CJ me da sibi em say fan say dey kan idea na ya bibia ye disturbing say ha adwene kakra but kakra me nim say ebia trend na a ekoso sabri no and be a different picture there but baby o ho a omo to aba no a genuinely no omo to many pa na omo peno no
yeah
na problem ba kwa ye won say o head the office of the assembly member ye ma omo hwe o voluntary to omo come meeting na ama omo transport na transport ne kakra de be ma no ejina the IGF for assembly no enya so in fact me study assemblies be not too long ago amoko meeting na many pa ba 10 Ghana cedis the lunch and then the transport somewhere
and no sitting allowance and
sitting allowance ne just sky the man one no 10 anu kra no a kire ne de beba because area bi wo ha IGF mu nya hwe o IGF and a common fund no there's no provision say emfama assembly member nti di ombenya no nti ekoba sa na say gradually no nipa no nya the opportunity say obetinya vote atia anaso obetinya vote amawa na any opawasem kra ko be vote amadada kra stera no sa hwe wanim because or reject wa also obenya problem na the sign wo mu biem ne say chief executive in bebre officer they were among to omo no so no ya na enye
omo ni assembly members in them
very good
okay
obi baby how kwa project kakra bi be ba ebi a say school feeding ebi a bibi na aba a metim di ama obi a na say ebe fa ma ye bie no so nya kakra wo ho a oje ani nyina asem member bi ehu akiri kwan it is a koba saa dia no munya saa opportunity dia ene na omo ayo madwene say wa anye dia yenso enye but ebi wo nso asije emfa ho ni card be mo Ghana for your culture your dignity your yes ebi wo emfa ho ompa osika kra o force na de man na so wa na de che no beje still ometu atia so okay
in fact there are some assemblies assembly members na say ana nominees na say to manutuo say assembly members me ampo me mom sika om so wo monye
enti
ya ombeto ama me ama
ma dignity okay the famous ya ponko ejuso ya mwaponko yes o the more I will make can craft na vote no cra ba form enti ebi situation bi ewo ho sir but the good news ne say contract to the nankofo dwen say ebit me di 1 year and say na bi no anya confirmed this year na say trend it looks good. It looks good. And one beautiful thing about we ma also local governance arrangements the fact that so many areas without politics. Because have to say almost 6 assemblies 100% across, and you cannot tell me say because there are seats NDC there. Yes, logically no, I'm dominate. Nipa ba ko pekura mpanka say o descend. Enti na say good also but say ohwe aguna is near na say ampa so mo mpeni pa no a. I will encourage some members. Okay. If it's any pa no ntimi nya adwuma no a. O ma so ne form kra na. O se etimi tutia no. Okay. Na yekoye nim. Okay. Adi ma member ho na utie reporter if you were clearly there are pockets of disturbances here and there as we move along because you na other assemblies so eba beto omo there from where you sit say onim there or Bible no how proactive should our security services be then ebe yanko say oh omo tra ho no omo hwe ya na basa yo no esi pressure ben and I will say, confirmation near the election by security services, EFSO. Adib.
Well, obviously, there were some flashpoints. Usually, register a consistent pattern of disturbance anytime Ombube appointee. But I think it is important, starting from the assembly members, lower or more expectations, because usually. Omo promise we know ya munipa okay you be appointing then from last minute maybe will be our presidency or one favorite then they swerve you and want to mean manage your expectations that is when you see it becoming something else but that notwithstanding still a critical say you maintain some level of security presence but most importantly you improving intelligence so you pick information because usually before basa you pick pockets of information okay from the ground so you pick that information maybe you bet me I use diplomatic means to stop it from even spiraling into confusion in the first place.
Okay, right. I didn't say ma yanhwe say bet me afa mizuma bushafo no be mienu bi na fe mi wi abetwa me who briefly abayaba na fe boduma de ni na atofa na ya sorry so ma menhwe ne me wono ewa ha we dem say ni din bia ni ha opani sa wotime nka wo na yensa ka wi bodin na fe ba bia o hwe ifra odwani afiri no yenti o padaroma opani.
Hello.
Yeah, nka.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Me pacho udin baby a o join you free.
Because I feel so you were quiet. Afemi Edi because I feel so you were quiet. Now me can be afa ejura issue no. Yes, say a politicians ankasa. Yeah, near the higher politics. Now you say nyama enye. Yenya well structured policy be in Ghana. bit me a bow man. Because the way I drag Ghana con. Young quarters young, that's at the how near the chin of a Ghana. Yes, sir, send a doctor, we are being a kind. And Cabet was say, ye politician film. Not the young Yanka saying yet, not the end of Yanka say, eh, you know, fire drain, young come. Na ya mo my Ghana na enyina yi na we abe ye the be politics na be BSB na be NPP na tem bia o man no ehye.
Okay, me da say of Edward me da say pa yemfa Infinix Hot 10 Infinix Hot 10 Bowdin na fe be a wo join ni efri ni enti o opening on mute mic no why Infinix.
Ye frame and Samoa me wo Accra ya na me kasafa Doma East Edia Honkakra.
Okay, yenti.
Ye politicians na omo Doma East, especially DC or boy juma de na mum ye be sure ni say Kronan kasankasa ye district capital. Mpuntu juma bia nkoso ho we nyina achi ne nanado asan aboni din so omra asat now your core district capital no mu a CJ me come tro say district capital nkasa police for ni baabi omoti police
for doma sam na wokan
doma east asem na mekan
okay
one fear, yeah, district capital. Police station, you know, Doma East, yeah, one fear. CJ, me sister was small crew for Amon Wakwa. District capital, new police station, Abokwaye, yeah, open Gusian and Granty or Ubenya. Police station, quarters, police quarters, as I say, police for Nya Baby Dan. Say, police for high dying. Please for high dying.
My enda was na yen fancy ho we say we had time nanka yetumi afa bu so for mo zoom no bebre e dey account but me twa me homra me ba na wo twi dwumadie ye bo ni na to fa na fe ya sorry so ye ba ya ba kwa ba bi o na wo twi dwumadie eso ni o share live Adom TV Sanso Asempa 94.7 FM. We are back in the studio and doc so far off air na ye dwindwin sem the fact is ebetimi ama bia to say this wa boy adwuma pa but ebedu say ye confirm no na kwa bibia ho the MP factor the party factor ye share sa factors na fi menjo adwente
in fact CJ, there are so many factors and the president and the penny for kan ho no omo wo enema bebre ho aye tie kra no yenim and so ye criteria and as indicators omo gina so but every part of Ghana factors are weigh heavily and say you DC no are different area bi wa ha factor no key factor no
that's area bi a differ
area bi dey socio-economic development
okay
area bi dey ethnicity
on free ha
Debbie area bi ho there is a tradition say MP every decider this intimi say free ho and say nyanya MP ni free ho na say incumbent na wo free bi a MP ni free na utiri keka so what them tell say because area no e bi a population no e bi a this ethnic group here 50% we are 50%. Such areas, for development. They don't think about the two critical political positions in one
side.
No, we the other side. Like I said, Sana at your but area be her. And he said, Unya de ma side can we know group na omuni obiano. One moment DC, or mamma MP. I'm here next election. They'll go against you. And you say one factor.
Okay.
And there are so many other factors. I hidden I and until may I appeal to supporters no. And you will be say the open and now share factors be as a nka ya ansa amfa nipa na ama ena nka eye eye wo adwene ne nsusu yeso papa na wote Flagstaff House no Jubilee House no owo soro chen obia onimini ama bebre befo twa no wo hye nyina traditional rulers also play role see area bi wo ho a me can as a fact omwa wo local arrangement say this time no we enko from this family next 4 years yes about power
no be TMB
yes
come on it's a clear example
yes
and some man penny be body no kra no na nanu ahemfo omo ye press conference say mayor and MC man penny be body sse oye
we say
the honey and just had the intimi ne nya adwuma in fact ne din ade da ne na no na nipa kro no oye akani ora Charles Watson oye akani but nananum said there be ye ntimi ne akani enya adwuma ye pobi oye nkrani ya ye hu nipa ampani ampa omampani di sa eno no ye adwuma ama nei
yes
abo nkrani bin enti sa ahemfo factor na wo kan
very critical
and also another major issue for opposition no your impositions.
Very good.
And no na affect MPP during the last election, especially MPs. You know, and that issue no is synonymous with ruling parties because obi benya sika kakre bi obenya power bi then the person becomes emboldened and go like they be win na omo pay. So because right, you see, if you are not careful, especially for young politicians, you easily become arrogant. So what because one crucial like you've never seen it before. So omo nyesa sika kakre no sas power kakre and then we become different humans altogether. And usually assembly members know if they say empower, even though laws no and making it to some extent from my layman's perspective force down appointees down the truth of assembly because according to the laws or try once or bet me I try bio. So what I say. But I would have thought say once sign panu okwa and the person is rejected or man penyon sesano. Because what happens is usually omo rejecto bia then it gives them the opportunity to go down there and meet persons one by one. And no in the end omo be accepting not based on their thinking say obey jumano but just because of the kind of intervention that comes to play, you know, from the very highest point of power. Or to me,
and sometimes threats.
Any threats,
any because they can withdraw you as an appointee.
You see, that's the point. Okay, so I think, you know, we need to really streamline things in a much more progressive way. So.
Doc, Mami announce phone lines. Now, remember, Doc, 0302-211-701-24, 0302-211-701-702-703, na 704. Fre, na fe o hwe o TV so a dum TV no ana lo no kra na fe yantwetwe enkomo. Doc, already emre ni nyina akọ. We almost 9 months into the tenure of office. Ansa na yebobo said din. Womo ye yempe no na yentoma no ne ade no. I mean, do we have to take into consideration development project and adwuma say cost assembly ho? Because ye yempani nyina no 10 days say somebody powerful din na the powerful no so ba no so yempe no na kakra impuntu adwuma no say ye no na etwekwa akire no. Doc, you say on me ya adwene sa kwan no so.
To some extent.
Okay.
But nyina.
I see.
Say democracy is very expensive. Democracy is very expensive. And a arbitrary approach of governance. So one we na say genuinely omo nyina so papa bi pa say omo mpe obi na ofo so na aka say time into the manual 3 years na aka no ahwe adwuma obeye no ka edemo obi fufuro 1 year ko be ya brosa.
Okay.
The here ne say enyina so a omo say omo mfa mpe obi no I say ye nyina so papa. I take into consideration ye nyina ye yo ene ye nkoso. E bia na mo nim nyama bi rom ne nete ho. Mpanyimfo enim na ja obi apushi kakra ma no recommendation. Enti no say eye no kura pa say de wo nipa no ho no enya na se nipa no kra ba president bit me say you free ho asa ko pin pa foforo enti anu hia na emom se nya sa na yes obi pe bibi kakra hye ne botom ana they settle personal scores there ene enye
ma menda mabeja fo ase na yemfa enkomotwetwe ni nyina ensi ha ora Adib Sani ye security expert beja fo me nyina mo nya hoho e wo na otwe dwumadie eso ora Sani ada sepa as always na fi Dr. Thomas Boaben a public policy analyst and a senior lecturer ono so ebeka ye ho yenda production team no ase Welbeck Kofi Ampedu back from USA with more them and welcome go asum sa Priscilla ora AC Ohene Joshua Tigo Mauli and a me camera sound and a MCR and obi bia say me the chief Jerry Force and I'm free the price for greatness is responsibility. That crowd.